All right, we got action. Oh, don't know if to shake hand, bumped fists. Shane Van Boening against Chung, semifinals of the Zan Tip Invitational. Good evening for those of you in Europe. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on where you are in America, and good night wherever you are in Asia. My name is Rico Diks, going to be narrating you through this rotation battle between two of the world's best. Here at the main event, which is the Metz Bucharest Open, being played simultaneously. This was a tournament we started between 16 players, sponsored by Zan Tip. And this is the semifinals, 4 players left. Race to 8, alternate break. Gotta like it with 2 of these players. Interesting that Shane, although he doesn't have to break from the box, remains breaking from the box. Feels quite confident in making the 1 or any wild balls, or maybe even the brown 7 bottom right. So 1 ball made. No other balls. 9 ball. Ta -ta -ta -ta. Well, there you go. Anybody see that 3 9s on the break that Max Lechner made at the, was it UK Open or was it a tournament prior? That was amazing, wasn't it? 3 identical 9 balls on the break. So, balls quickly racked. Chung seeing himself trailing straight away. He is breaking from the absolute side of the table. Just hitting the 1 ball to the left of straight from where he's looking, guiding his cue ball. Oh, look at the cat in the middle of the screen. Oh, one of our neighborhood cats here that just casually will usually go and take a little nap underneath the tables. You know, it's where it's quietest. The rest of this club, pretty busy. A lot of people from all over Europe coming to play and watch the world beaters in the world of 9-ball pool here at the IDM club. Well, this worked out pretty well. Made the 2 ball, so it has to play position for the 3-8 combination. Would like to be 10 degrees south of straight position on the 3-8. So just below straight. Tempo screw back here. Nice. Yeah, and his stroke's so nicely defined, you know, always kind of the same speed. Plays such good angles that they're never really hammering the balls to force the angle, because they have the required angle. Well, and after this, as long as he can get himself straight in on the 4 ball, 4 gives you position on the 5. Making the 5 will give you a shot on the 6 bottom right. And that will give you your desired angle on the brown 7. So, So yesterday we had about 200-300 people watching. We are already up to about 450 at the moment. So we're going to stop his cue ball right about where the 6 is, because he's got a natural angle then to come off the top rail, spin it to the north half of the left rail, and then towards the 9 ball. Race to 8 we're playing. We started playing races to 7, and the final might even be a race to 9 of this invitational. The main event that is played simultaneously is all races to 9, winners and 1 lost side. All right, Chung with a nice break and run out. Half ball trying to cut that into the side and zipping his cue ball 2 rails back to the center of table. Whoa, here we go. 4 balls on the break. Maybe 5. Hold it, 2 ball. But he will have the bank, I think. He will have the bank, but 2 to the 4 position, not easy. Because his cue ball will spin onto the left long rail, off of the bottom rail, but then will carry left spin towards the 9, and that's not going to be easy. To avoid snookering himself on the 7-9, or at least get a nice shot. So 4 balls off the break. A bank might be his most difficult shot of this rack. Yeah, he's just a bit worried because best he can do is screw his cue ball just to the short rail, but even that will take him to those. Ooh, yeah. Well, got away with it. But we have a jump shot artist in Chung. So, bit of at least screw back, maybe a bit of right spin. So when he makes it, can make his cue ball turn directly to the right off of that 2 ball into the right short rail and then spin it back towards the pink 4. But let's clear the 4 ball hurdle first, which he will, I can promise you that. Great jump shot artist, and try to make the 2 perfect. Ooh. Well, that will work. So a missed bank shot by Shane, giving Ko an opportunity to break Shane's serve, in essence, if we're talking in tennis terms. And it will be Ko's break next, so imagine him running this out and breaking and running, then all of a sudden it's 3-1 to Ko. But that's maybe too much future prediction and inviting the commentator's curse. Second time the Ko brothers are gracing the IDM Pool Club here at the Bucharest Open. All thanks to the brains behind it all, Mr. Braga. You may know him, you may not, but a very influential figure in the Romanian world of billiards, as well as the Billiard Network on YouTube. Go have a look at their library of amazing matches. As Ko makes light work after that jump shot of this rack. 2-1 he leads. Yeah, fair enough. I mean, we don't all have to follow Matchroom's lead straight away. I think
we are partners in this world ranking, world 9-ball tour, and it's not been a mandatory thing that they asked us to do. So we will discuss it for next year, and we'll see.
Yeah, but and it's very interesting that Shane basically chooses to kind of hit the 1 ball, half ball at that speed. He's gonna, his cue ball is gonna travel in unknown directions. Although they're pretty good at zipping it back and forth over the long rails and then back to the center of table. He kind of wants to arc his cue ball underneath the 9 ball, but anyway, we'll come to that later. Ko, bottom right spin, needs a stroke on this one. Ooh, how about some top left? But left himself an angle where naturally he's going to crash into the 5 ball. So we'll have to add extreme bottom left, and the best he can do is draw his cue ball over the breaking line and then kind of just to the right of the 8 ball. If you draw a line from the 4 ball, yeah, exactly there. But I mean, I have to say that players that do well at the original cut break, I mean, they get easier racks, although Shane makes 2 or 3 balls often, so that's good. But if you perform the cut break well, all the balls are in the middle of the table. You make 2 balls on average.
You mean the new break?
No, the old school
one we use.
cut break, yeah.
The
kind of light cut break.
Breaks.
True, but breaking from the side,
Oh yeah,
you have
from
more
the-
control to make the corner ball. You may make the one ball as well. You may make another wild ball, and it seems there are no clusters. Although I've noticed that with a lot of breaks, especially also in my match, but on matches I've commentated here, that the ball that is racked above the one ball and the nine ball form like an unmakeable cluster after the break with this turtle rack. Maybe not between these two players, but you'll see it often. That's
Well,
specific to this template.
what I know from this club that I play every day
Mm.
is that you have one break in the morning, one in the afternoon,
Serious?
and one in the evening. So,
Well, you
and
heard
then,
it here.
and then you also have to take into considerations the number of people inside. And you think you have it, and then the next match,
Yeah.
you don't. So,
See, folks at home, there's some attention to detail from Robert there. It is true, humidity, and that is also caused by the amount of people and the weather outside and the air conditioning being on high or low. As Ko takes the 3-1 lead, race to 8, remember, to get into the final of the Zan Tip Invitational. Especially with these small pockets. So one ball into the left side, cue ball to the right, underneath the 9. All right. Hit it a bit thicker than he, I think, usually does. But hey,
I think they aim to hit a bit thicker because they're not. That's why they're putting more backspin. They're not using all the box, so they break from a bit like 4 inches inside the
Yeah.
box
yeah,
towards the middle of the table.
yeah,
So that's why they can put more backspin, and because otherwise you cannot, to make the one in the side you kind of have to use a higher ball
yeah,
so that the one doesn't come as low,
yeah, nice.
or so that's why I think it was actually Koping Chung that came up with this break. I think it was, I'm losing track of the matchroom events because now there's so many,
Yeah,
but it was one of the matchroom events, maybe not for sure not the last one, the UK Open, the one before.
yeah,
So that's when he figured out that you move 4 inches inside the box,
Yeah.
and then you put more backspin, and then you guarantee to make the one ball. In a high
well,
percentage.
guaranteed. I mean, on this table
Yeah.
and on the 4-inch pockets we had at the UK Open, there's no guarantee, right? I mean,
Yeah.
it's getting tougher to make balls, which is what we want. We want more game. As Shane has so far driven his cue ball past any tiny problems that he may have faced, and is now in ideal line to narrow the gap. All right, Shane about to close the gap. (3-2) race to 8, although it will be Koping Chung breaking. We started with 16 players in the Invitational and are down to the last 4. This is the first semi-final. And let's watch Ko break, making the 4 ball or the 2 ball below it. Another wild ball. Lost his cue ball a bit. He has still got a cut on the 1. Now, is he going to take this? Well, if he doesn't want to push out, he's going to have to take it because there's no other options to play safe. So sometimes the layout, sometimes the situation in the match may either determine what shot you play. Yeah, he's looking at the cutting angle. So yeah, my name is Rico Diks, and I'll be narrating you through these matches and matches the whole weekend. We are going to be whittling it down until eventually we get to 16 players on the winner's side, 16 players on the one loss side. Let's not call them losers, because I'm on that side as well. And those 16 versus 16 will be randomly drawn, and then we'll go into a single elimination 32 bracket, races to 9 all the way through. So Ko made a nice cut, but this another cut required. And for the 3-ball to reach the pocket, his cue ball is going to be zipping back and forth. And that is not where the 4-ball is. So wants to go to the left, to the right, across, and then across, unless he can softly spin this in. I mean, they can do a lot, these Ko brothers. 1, 2, 3, and now needs the tempo. Pretty beautiful. Didn't really want to have this angle. Too straight, and the only little bit of angle he's got is not going to leave him a great shot on the 6, so we'll have to take his medicine and stop his cue ball where the 4-ball is now. And then he's going to take about a 40-degree cut on the 6-ball. So Ko with 2 immaculate cuts on the 1 and the 3-ball. I mean, hit the 3-ball as good as he could have. You know, one half a ball's width to the left or right, and he would have had an ideal angle on this 4 or 5-ball. He's not going to force the issue and spin forward 3 rails, right? I think leave it there, because rolling the 6 in will always get you a shot on the 7. Oh, he's going forward. That's forcing the issue. I didn't expect that. Because you don't see the Ko brothers. Well, let's talk about one. You don't see Chung hitting the ball hard, and there he had to. And then, of course, also the pocket jaws become less friendly at that pace. So Shane, with what I think he will believe is an unexpected opportunity. So many pool fans' favorite player in the world, of course, because of his sheer shot-making ability, his incredible break, which many people, especially in the game of 10-ball, have been trying to copy now for about 10 years. Shown a lot of heart wherever he's played. He's learned to win, not just in the US of A. And what many Americans had trouble with was traveling to Europe and Asia and winning tournaments. Well, I think Earl Strickland was the only one that traveled pretty well. And Shane used to play a lot of challenge matches with Earl, and he's emulated the fine Pearl pretty well, and he's going to level things up here. And then he will be breaking. I keep losing check of whose break it is, who won the lag. 3-all in the Zan Tip Invitational. So in essence, Shane trying to hit the 1-ball half ball with backspin. That will curve his cue ball to the right rail, kind of towards the 9-ball. It's a bit too thick, but you know, he's so good at making that 1-ball. So he's kind of taking a kind of calculated risk. Well, he is kind of throwing his cue ball, you know, around the table and into kisses, and it can travel into pocket more often than the cut break all the way from the side will make you scratch. But yeah, what an amazing breaker. And look at this opportunity. Four to the 5 requires cue ball accuracy though. Kind of wants to probably leave his cue ball where the 3 is now, thereabouts. And leave himself that 20 to 30 degree angle. So in essence, the game of 9-ball rotation game, if the ball you're currently shooting gives you a shot on the next ball, you want to keep 0 to 20 degree angles. If the ball is not next or is not automatic position, you want to keep 20 to 40 degree angles more often than not. So now the 6 is pretty much available as soon as his cue ball leaves the 5 ball. But the 6 to the 7 is not connected, so he wants to leave 20 to 40 degree angle on the 6 ball. The 7 and the 8 are pretty much connected, because as soon as he leaves the 7 ball, he will get a shot on the 8, and will therefore leave about 10 to 20 degree angle on the 7 ball. Can handle more angle as well, but that's about the gist of it, really. And that is perfect. A little bit of stun draw, straight to the left, to the center of table. Yeah, such a smooth operator, isn't it? Very big strokes, so big swings. Just such a shot maker. An incredible consistent breaker. From being down 3-1, taking the lead 4-3 over Koping Chung, who will be breaking. So alternate break of making the 5 ball underneath the 4 ball in bottom right. And sometimes the 2 ball gets kicked bottom right. See, the 2 ball got kicked bottom right. Didn't make the 4 or the 5. Did make the 1. Lovely. So, little Ko making pretty light work of this so far. Can handle a straight in 6 ball, can handle an angle. Well, that worked out pretty well. So he's about to level things up 4-all. So if you want to know any live scores or the draw for the Metz Bucharest Open, everything's available on 9ball.ro. So 9ball.ro, the number 9 followed by ball.ro will give you all the brackets, the live scores, upcoming matches. Pretty neat. Breaking from the box, cutting the one in the side, probably making a wild ball as well. Let's see what he can do with his cue ball. Zip, zap. Yeah, he's learned to control it pretty well. But it is definitely more of a wild break than the cut break, isn't it? From the side, where you're hitting the 1 ball more square on, your cue ball travels a lot less, more predictable positions. So what will Shane do here? Would like to not let Ko break his serve in essence. Stay on serve. Nice. Might not get full cover though. Is there a path between the 6 and 8 ball? I believe so. Yeah, I think there's just a path, but what do you do then? Split the balls, try to bring the white to the right side of the table and use the 6, 8, 9, 4 as blockers? Or can he hit so much of it? Okay, he's going to hit the 2 ball. Probably about half ball with bottom left spin from where he's looking. Come off the rail, off the short rail, and then kick the 7 in. In doing so, he's going to bank the 2 ball to the top left of the table, so we'll try to keep position as well. A few factors that need to be controlled here. Wow. Does that 3 ball pass? Good shot by Ko. I think Shane, when playing that safety, didn't think he gave him such an attacking option. Yeah, so I think the 3 ball does pass, has about half the pocket. 6 ball is a big ball though, with the cue ball leaving to travel towards the 4 ball from where the 3 ball is. Needs quite a bit of maneuver on the cue ball, but it's pretty straight, so will require a harder swing. Nice. So, is Ko about to break Shane's serve? As I'm just adjusting the score line here. 4-all is our score, as you can see from the scoreboard in between the players' chairs. Ko in ideal line at the moment. And then we're halfway through this match, or thereabouts. Who knows if it will be 8-4, 8-5, 6, or 7. We're going to follow that up with another world-class semi-final, well, at least featuring 2 world-class players. It will be Victor the Train Zelensky. I like to call him the Train, I think, because he seems to like run through people when he's, you know, such a quick player. Anyway, share your thoughts on what you'd like his nickname to be, because he doesn't have one yet, I think. And I think we're going to see Ko Pin-Yi in as the 4th player in the semifinal. Is that correct? So my advice to you, we may run over the limit time, so my advice to you is to follow the IDM Pool Tour Facebook page. So if you need to refresh or something, then that's easy.
Table number 8-9.
Vladimir Jovic, Erdogan Ilmaz, table number 8-9.
Table number 8-9.
So let's see how he does.
Ruben Romero
Yeah,
Hoyo,
made the 3, made the 2, made the 1. So looking for the 4 ball, and there it is, hidden behind the 9.
Ruben Romero Hoyo,
Ruben Romero Hoyo.
table number
Table
B8.
Table number B.
So what do you do? What do you do? He's not going to kick at this. So push out. Always look for the... Oh, he's going to jump it. Ooh, I like it. See, that surprises me with the 9 ball being so far away. So in my opinion, he would need a certain amount of speed, but they're able to land and kind of not make the cue ball bounce off the table. That's what I think I've seen in the last few years. These jump cues and the player's artistry. Here we go. Important shot. Ooh, missed it. Hit it very well. Ooh, fluked it. But, so, is he able to cut this 5 ball in, draw his cue ball all the way with bottom left spin to the left long rail, and then make it spin over to kind of where the 5 ball is now? Or is he going to let his cue ball run into the 6? That would mean a less violent stroke, let's say. Yeah, I mean, I think he is, maybe he's got less angle than I think. So he might be able to kind of drag his cue ball and play the 6-8 combination after this.
Table
Game
number
start
8,
center,
8.
William Mortier, table number 8-8.
Ooh, severely overcut that 5 ball. Well, I mean, whatever Shane gets, he should be happy with, really, in this scenario. So Shane faced with a cut on the 5. Can he hold his cue ball to play the 6 top left, or he's going to play the 6-8 as well? If he wants to hold his cue ball, that would mean a bit of a more of a half-ass stroke. Shane does like a full swing. So might, yeah, that's what he's... Oh, he can also shoot the 5 ball in the right side pocket. All right, here we go. Kind of a center ball or just top spin, and the cue ball should spin 2 rails in between the 7-9. I think he's gonna do. Yeah, nice one. Good tempo. I mean, Shane is a good player, isn't it? If you see him execute the shots that are required, or sometimes shots that we don't even see, I mean, he just hits that cue ball so well. Do you think anyone in the world has made the amount of table hours that Shane has? I mean, I know there are a lot of people that play a lot, but do you think anybody's been on the table more in the last 20 years than Shane? Hard to argue with that. Very interesting bit of information that you can see about Shane here is that he's no longer playing with the cue extension. So whatever Shane does, a lot of players follow. So in the next few months, you'll see a lot of people throw their cue extensions away. Yeah, very interesting that took away his extension. All right, levels it up at 5-all. I mean, why?
So he played for 3 hours. He said, "Well, I play just as good without it, as you know." And the thoughts behind it are mainly, you know, it's a different stroke.
Interesting. I mean, I do know that with the extension, if the cue ball's on the left or right long rail, then sometimes the boarding is in the way, isn't it? I've seen in the past, but yeah, it's interesting.
He still uses one though on the break shot, on the break cue. So that's
Really?
interesting. Yeah.
Wow.
So if you notice, he adds one to the break cue for this break, for this matchroom break.
Yeah.
You know, let's call it matchroom and
Yeah,
the 3-point
the
roll
box break.
yeah, for the box break.
Yeah. Yeah, I might have to ask him that, and I'll try to give you some more inside information. Although Robert is probably pretty accurate and pretty close to Shane when he is residing in Romania. Doesn't he have partly Romanian blood? Didn't he have?
Yeah, his grandmother was Romanian.
Wow.
So it's like, if you want to call it 25% Romanian, he likes.
Oh,
I gotta go fix that.
all right. Something crashed just by the sheer brain power of.
Table number 8, 7.
Table number 8-7.
Nice. Something breaks. Shane will fix it. Yeah, so push out, just looking at as much distance as you can get, not giving up a clear pot, and not giving out a natural safety, let's say. So you want to give away a safety where there's a very specific hit required on that 2-ball, if anything. Maybe give away a bank shot. Some people push out to a jump shot these days, kind of challenging their opponents to say, I think I'm better at it than you. Although with the push out, you always have to give something, right? You can't just snooker your opponent because you're most likely going to get it back. So they have thought in the past that the player pushing out loses more than 50% of the racks. So what do you do here? People at home, help me out. Play the 2-9 combination. No. So what are the options? Could cut the 2 ball in between the 7-9 and leave that on the left long rail and then guide the cue ball behind the 3 ball. I mean, it's a very small area of success, isn't it? Could bank the 2 ball down and up the table towards the 8 and topspin his cue ball behind the 3 ball again. I mean, let's see what he chooses. Yeah. Difficult, isn't it? That area behind the 3 is so hard to get to, but hit the 2 ball pretty well. Didn't hide all of it. So as we drift into the European continent evening, you can see the viewer numbers rising and rising. Welcome to you all. Semi-final race to 8 of the Zan Tip Invitational, a precursor to the Metz Bucharest Open. So this is not the main event, but an invitational we started yesterday with 16 players. 4 players left, Shane and Koping Chung. And stick around, because after this, in the next semi-final, we'll have Victor the Train Zielinski versus Koping. So could it be a family affair in the Zan Tip Invitational final? So what is Shane going to do here? Could bank the 2 ball straight back up table or back down table. Could cut it and come back towards the 3. That might be the biggest chance. Yeah, bank the 2. Yeah, so no snooker attempted here. Really focused on that 2 ball weight, the direction and the weight of the 2 ball. Well played. So it won't be long until we are part of a more than a 1K viewership here on the IDM Pool Tour Facebook page. Welcome to you all. My name is Rico Diks, if you weren't aware, and I'm narrating you through this and many more matches this weekend. There is no place in the world where more talented pool players are congregated than right here in Bucharest, Romania, at the IDM Club. So Ko's got options here, none of which are easy, I believe. And well, actually, what is he going to do? Can't really bank the 2 back up table. That's will always double kiss. If he cuts it on the right from where we're looking, there's a big chance he's going to open up the 2 and make that drift towards the bottom left corner pocket. Can't really bank it towards the 4 because won't find cover behind the orange or the 7 or 9 ball. And that's why thinking time is a little bit longer here. So he's thinking of cutting the 2 ball thin on the right side from where we're looking, and then guiding his cue ball just south of the right side pocket in between the 6-8. Whew. Here we go. Cue ball only. What a beautiful shot. I would applaud if it wouldn't go straight into the microphone and you might think there's fireworks going off here, but fireworks on the pool table, even a delicate shot like that. You know, I love these tactical exchanges. Feel free to like, love and share the stream and see if we can get above 1K pretty soon. 968 currently. Warm welcome to you all from Asia, from Europe, from Oceania, from the US of A, from South America. We're grateful you're all watching and we hope you're enjoying this stream right here. We implore you to follow the IDM Pool Tour page as well. So should we sometimes be cut out, then as soon as we're back live, you will be automatically connected. And that's a pretty handy thing, whether you are on your phone or at home. So what's Shane going to do here? Can he hit it? Oh, he can even hit it. Can he make it? I don't think he can reach the potting angle. Well, maybe he can. No, I don't think he can. So he's gonna try to hit it half ball and guide his cue ball back up north. Phew. I mean, I'm gonna have to ask him later what he was trying there. So ball in hand to Ko Ping Chung. Chance to take the lead. And he will be breaking the next rack. Is that the case? I think Shane won the lag. So no clusters. No balls on the sides of the rails, no balls interfering with any natural pockets for each of the object balls in the rotation remaining. Oh, that was pretty adventurous, I would say, to get onto the 3-ball. Yeah, so races to 8 this semi-final. The semi-final coming up between Victor the Train Zielinski and Ko Ping Yi, also a race to 8. I'm not sure if we're playing the final tonight, but either way, this match pretty tasty, I have to say, and then the next semi-final coming up. So besides the 4 players remaining in the Zan Tip Invitational, we are of course playing the main event, the Metz Bucharest Open 2023 9-ball championships, where we have 256 players, a full field. We've played about 3 winners round matches, 2 losers round matches, and we are looking to get to 16 players on the no-loss side, and they'll be drawn versus 16 players from the 1-loss side to get us to a single elimination 32-player bracket. Races to 9 all the way through to the final, including the final as well. The last 32 will most likely be played on Sunday, but stick around because the further we get, we cannot help but have clashes between talented cueists here. The first rounds today have seen a few whitewashes here on the main table. But we already had Alex Kazakis versus Nick Malai final rack decider, which was won by Alex Kazakis. All right, here we go. Ko Ping Chung takes the lead. Shane remains seated. Doesn't feel like taking any of the balls out of the pockets for his opponent. But sometimes they clash. But he also has a chance to make the 1 ball in the left side pocket. Would love to draw his cue ball kind of straight to the left long, or straight to the right long rail. Anywhere straight to the right or towards the, just below the right side pocket. Right there. Making the 1 ball. Didn't make the 3. Made the 2 ball as well. Does he have a shot on this 3 ball? If anything, it will be a thin cut. And kind of wants to leave his cue ball where the 3 ball is now, ish, for position on the 4 in the left side pocket. But this a chance to go to 7-5 with 3 games remaining, meaning he will break at least once more. So if he runs out here, then no matter if Shane runs out twice, Ko will break at Hill Hill. Is that the case? No. Shane will break it. Hill. So I would love to make 7-5 here, because then he will get a chance, even if Shane goes back to 7-6 behind. Ko will get a chance in the penultimate rack to break and run out, or at least keep control. Nice curve, but it didn't hit the 3 ball full enough. And this 4 ball doesn't pot naturally and doesn't bank. Ooh, Shane will be faced with a snooker, but at least he's coming back to the table. So Ko won't be happy with that result. Although this is a pretty nifty safety, I have to say. Shane can only hit about the left half of the 4 ball if he comes off this bottom rail. And not a clear way to get away with it either. Can come 3 rails, then he has a full 4 ball to hit. If he hits the cue ball in as the way he's pointing now. So first rail, second rail would be the short rail near us. Then hit the right rail and then hit the 5 ball. Ooh. Hard not to go wide around the 4 ball. Really needs to hit the second rail close to the bottom left corner pocket. If he kicks like this, he'll most likely hit it, but only has half the ball to hit and less chance to get away with it, because the 4 ball will be traveling north and kind of so well as cue ball. And, you know, can't imagine him getting a snooker behind the brown 7. I think he's gonna whack it. Let's go. Yeah, there's still a lot of stuff that can happen. I mean, now he gave it away. Could easily have gotten a nice snooker. And what do I see on the Facebook live stream? 1K. Thank you all for watching on this Friday evening in Bucharest, Romania. It may only be Friday afternoon in America. It may very well be the start of Saturday morning in Asia. But we welcome you all and we're glad you're watching. There's no stream in the world that will show you better rotation pool players than this one right here. Yeah, so that missed position opportunity in the first run out chance for Ko. Played a fairly good safety, although Shane could have easily gotten away with that kick shot. Didn't, and so it's Ko with a chance to go too clear again. And go to 7-5 with 3 games maximum remaining. It will be Shane breaking. As I said before, very interesting that we can break anywhere from behind that white line in the north half of the table. Most players are breaking from the absolute sides, trying to squeeze the corner ball, the wing ball into the respective corner from wherever they're breaking, and the 1 ball in the side. But Shane has decided to keep breaking from the box that he's used to in the last few World 9-Ball Tour tournaments. Therewith, often making the 1 ball in the side, not being able to make the corner ball, any of the 2 corner balls. He breaks hard enough and well enough to make wild balls as well, but the cue ball kind of zips across the table into other balls much more than the wide table cut break, and therefore I believe he gets fewer easy shots after the break than other players do. But he is Shane. Here we go. Will it be 7-6 or not?
Average Georges.
Didn't make the one ball. Surprise. Ooh.
Nikolai B5.
And is going to give up a shot.
B5.
Not often you see Shane breaking dry.
Georges who? Nikolai
Darko
Gavrovic.
Georges Wu, Nikolai
Table
Gavrovic.
number B.
So Ko with an opportunity to get into the Zan Tip Invitational final here. And will he be potentially, should he run out, facing his brother, Ko Ping Chung, or with this opportunity and the next semi-final coming up, Ko Pin Yi versus Viktor Zielinski. I mean, two of the most talented players in the world. I'm really enjoying Viktor Zielinski in the last few years, really maturing as a player. Anyway, we'll talk about him later. All right. Ko is probably going to draw his cue ball back, wants to kind of bring it back to where it is now for a straight in 3. If anything, come just below straight, because the pink 4 ball is on the north side of the table. No clusters, everything out in the open. Make your ball, keep your white rock under control. Zip. All right, tiny bit drawn back too far, but he's still got options. Yeah, so could accept a bit more distance. That's about as good as he can screw his cue ball back to. I think that's acceptable. Maybe not smart to go traveling around with top left spin. Yeah, so the second semi-final of the Zan Tip Invitational will be starting no more than 5 minutes after the conclusion of this match. I'll be back for that. I'm just going to leave you momentarily and then be back because I'm looking forward to the second semi-final. But here we have, as they cutely call him, Little Ko. Although there's an even younger Ko. Although he's the tallest of the 3, Ko Pin Han. He's not here this week. He probably had to go back to school still, if he was wise. So, straight tip position, high tip position on the white to guide his cue ball to the center of table. Okay, maybe shoot it with top right. Yeah, stick around here for the last 4 balls you would imagine in this match. We're going to be coming back to you with the second semi-final really soon. Viktor Zielinski against Ko Pin Yi. What a tasty matchup that is for your Friday, whatever it is, Friday evening, Friday morning, as I heard somebody say from Alaska tuning in. Welcome. I mean, it will already be early Saturday morning in Asia. So Ko Ping Chung trying to keep control of the cue ball and keep making his 7, 8, 9 ball to get into the final of the Invitational. Concurrently run with the Metz Bucharest Open being played on all the other outside tables. All the information, 9ball.ro. Ooh, hello. Ooh, what are we getting here? Ooh, cut this in? I mean, I wouldn't like to. Well, he's acting like it ain't no problem, but that is a major tip position mistake. Hit it much higher than he wanted to. Here we go for the match. Or will Shane be back at the table? Okay, maybe not. Wow. Ko Ping Chung into the Zan Tip Invitational final. Looking to potentially meet his brother or either Viktor Zielinski. Coming up in 5 minutes. Thank you so much for watching. Why don't you get yourself some popcorn, maybe a drink, have a toilet break, and we will see Ko Pin Yi versus Viktor Zielinski in 5 minutes.